Hey there, America! Buckle up because we're about to dive into the wild world of tariffs. Yes, those pesky little taxes on imports are back in the headlines, and boy, are they causing a stir. Tariffs, for those who might need a quick refresher, are taxes imposed by a government on goods and services imported from other countries. They can make foreign products more expensive, encouraging consumers to buy domestic goods instead. But, as with most things in life, it's not that simple. Remember those trade wars a few years back? Well, get ready for round two as tariffs take center stage in the 2024 election. Back then, it was a tit-for-tat battle, with countries slapping tariffs on each other's goods, leading to higher prices and economic uncertainty. This time, it's personal, folks, because your wallet and your vote are on the line. The stakes are higher than ever, and the impact on everyday Americans is more direct and immediate. We're talking higher prices on everything from cars to clothes. Imagine walking into your favorite store and seeing that the price of your go-to jeans has jumped significantly, or heading to a car dealership and realizing that the vehicle you've been eyeing is now out of your budget. And let's not forget that fancy imported cheese you like. Yes, even your culinary indulgences aren't safe from the ripple effects of tariffs. The cost of imported goods can skyrocket, making those special treats a rare luxury. We're talking jobs, both lost and gained, as businesses grapple with the fallout. Some industries might see a boost as domestic production ramps up, but others could suffer as supply chains are disrupted and costs rise. It's a delicate balance, and the outcome is far from certain. And we're talking global tensions as our trading partners start to wonder if America's lost its marbles. International relations can become strained, leading to a domino effect of economic and political consequences. Countries might retaliate with their own tariffs, creating a cycle of economic warfare. This ain't just some dry economic theory, people. This is real life, and it's happening right now. The effects of tariffs are felt in the everyday lives of citizens, from the prices they pay at the store to the job opportunities available to them. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's break down this tariff tango together. We'll explore the history, the current situation, and what the future might hold. It's a complex dance of economics, politics, and personal impact, because trust me, you're going to want to know what's going on. Understanding tariffs and their implications can help you make informed decisions, whether you're voting in the next election or just trying to budget for your next grocery trip. So let's get started and unravel the mysteries of tariffs together. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. Today, we're diving into a topic that might seem a bit dry at first, but trust me, it's incredibly important and affects all of us in more ways than you might think. What exactly are tariffs, you ask? Well, let's break it down in simple terms. Picture this. You're a company in China, and you want to sell your awesome new gadgets in America. You've spent years developing these gadgets, and you're confident they'll be a hit in the US market. Sounds great, right? But wait. The US government slaps a tariff on those gadgets. This isn't just a small fee. It can be a significant percentage of the product's value. That means you have to pay extra money just to get them into the country. This extra cost can sometimes be so high that it makes you question whether it's even worth it to enter the US market. Now, you've got a choice to make. You can either absorb the cost yourself, which will hurt your profits, or you can pass the cost onto the consumers. Eat the cost yourself, which hurts your profits and might even make your business unsustainable in the long run. B. Raise the price for American consumers, which could make your product less competitive compared to local alternatives. Or C. Take your gadgets elsewhere and find a different market, which means losing out on the lucrative American consumer base. See where we're going with this? Tariffs are not just simple taxes. They have far-reaching implications for businesses and consumers alike. Tariffs are like little economic speed bumps designed to make foreign goods more expensive. They are intended to slow down the influx of foreign products and give local businesses a fighting chance. The idea is to protect American businesses and jobs from foreign competition. By making imported goods more expensive, tariffs encourage consumers to buy local products, thereby supporting domestic industries. But here's the catch. Tariffs can also backfire, leading to higher prices for consumers, retaliation from other countries, and even trade wars. When one country imposes tariffs, others often respond in kind, creating a cycle of retaliation that can escalate quickly. This can result in job losses in industries that rely on imports, as well as in export-oriented sectors that suffer from retaliatory tariffs. It's a complex web of cause and effect that can have unintended consequences. It's a delicate balancing act, folks, and one that politicians love to use to their advantage. They often tout tariffs as a way to protect local jobs and industries, but the reality is much more nuanced. The impact of tariffs can vary widely depending on the specific industries and economic conditions involved. In a globalized world, where supply chains stretch across continents, the effects of tariffs can ripple through the economy in unexpected ways. Companies might shift production to other countries to avoid tariffs, leading to changes in global trade patterns. For consumers, this often means higher prices at the checkout counter. When tariffs are imposed on raw materials or components, the increased costs can trickle down the supply chain, ultimately being passed on to the end consumer. Small businesses, in particular, can be hit hard. They may not have the financial cushion to absorb the extra costs, nor the market power to pass them on to consumers without losing sales. Public opinion on tariffs can be deeply divided. Some see them as necessary protections for local industries, while others view them as harmful barriers to free trade. The debate is often heated and can influence political campaigns and policy decisions. Economists have long debated the merits and drawbacks of tariffs. While they can provide short-term protection for certain industries, they can also lead to inefficiencies and higher costs in the long run. The consensus is that tariffs are a double-edged sword, with both benefits and drawbacks. In the end, the goal is to find a balance that protects local industries without stifling global trade. It's a challenging task, but one that is crucial for the health of the global economy. So the next time you hear about tariffs in the news, remember that they're more than just taxes. They're tools that can shape economies, influence political landscapes, and impact our daily lives in ways we might not immediately realize. So where do things stand right now? Well, President Biden has kept some of those tariffs on Chinese goods in place, arguing they're necessary to protect American jobs and level the playing field. He's also been talking tough on trade with other countries, including our allies in Europe. But hold on to your hats, folks, because you know who else is sniffing around the tariff cookie jar? That's right, the Donald himself. The former president has made it clear that if he's back in the Oval Office, he's ready to unleash a whole new wave of tariffs. We're talking potential tariffs on everything from European cars to Mexican avocados. It's a tariff free-for-all out there, folks, and it's enough to make your head spin. But one thing's for sure. These tariffs are going to have a real impact on your wallet and on the 2024 election. Let's be real, folks. When it comes to elections, the economy is always a big deal. It's the bread and butter of political campaigns, the issue that hits closest to home for most voters. And guess what? Tariffs can hit the economy right where it hurts, in your wallet. Think about it. When tariffs are imposed, they act like a tax on imported goods. This means that the cost of these goods goes up, and who ends up paying for that increase? That's right, you do, the consumer. Whether you're buying groceries, electronics, or even clothes, those extra costs can add up quickly. And it's not just about the direct costs. Tariffs can also lead to higher prices for raw materials, which in turn makes it more expensive for companies to produce their goods. This can lead to higher prices across the board, affecting everything from the cost of your morning coffee to the price of a new car. If those tariffs on Chinese goods stay in place, or if Trump gets his way and slaps on even more, get ready to shell out more cash for everything from that new TV to your kids' toys. And it's not just about the immediate impact on your wallet. Over time, these higher costs can lead to reduced consumer spending, which can slow down economic growth and lead to job losses. Now, some folks might say, hey, I'm all for supporting American businesses, even if it means paying a bit more. And that's a fair point. Supporting domestic industries can lead to job creation and economic growth here at home. But here's the thing. Tariffs don't always work out the way they're supposed to. Sometimes they end up hurting the very industries they're supposed to help. For example, when tariffs are imposed on imported goods, other countries often retaliate by imposing their own tariffs on American goods. This can lead to a trade war, which can hurt American exporters and lead to job losses in industries that rely on international trade. Take, for example, those tariffs on steel and aluminum that Trump imposed a few years back. Sure, they might have helped some American steel and aluminum producers. But guess what? They also made it more expensive for American companies that use steel and aluminum to make things like cars and washing machines. And you know what happens when it costs more to make things? Prices go up and sometimes jobs get shipped overseas. Companies that can't afford the higher costs may decide to move their production to countries where labor and materials are cheaper. This can lead to job losses and economic decline in affected areas. So, yeah, tariffs are complicated. They can have both positive and negative effects, and their impact can vary depending on the specific circumstances. But one thing's for sure, they're going to be a major issue in the 2024 election. Voters are going to have to decide whether they're willing to pay the price for protectionism. Are they willing to accept higher prices and potential job losses in exchange for supporting domestic industries? Or do they prefer free trade and the benefits it can bring, such as lower prices and increased economic growth? It's a complex issue with no easy answers. But one thing's for sure, the outcome of the election could have a major impact on the future of tariffs and trade policy in the United States. So, as you head to the polls, make sure to consider the potential impact of tariffs on your wallet, your job, and the economy as a whole. And remember, it's not just about the immediate impact. The long-term effects of tariffs can be far-reaching, affecting everything from the cost of living to the availability of jobs. So, take the time to educate yourself on the issue and make an informed decision when you cast your vote. In the end, the decision is yours. But whatever you decide, make sure to consider the potential impact of tariffs on your wallet, your job, and the economy as a whole. Because when it comes to elections, every vote counts, and every decision matters. So yeah, tariffs are complicated. But one thing's for sure, they're going to be a major issue in the 2024 election. And voters are going to have to decide whether they're willing to pay the price for protectionism. And voters are going to have to decide whether they're willing to pay the price for protectionism. Are they willing to accept higher prices and potential job losses in exchange for supporting domestic industries? Or do they prefer free trade and the benefits it can bring, such as lower prices and increased economic growth? And voters are going to have to decide whether they're willing to pay the price for protectionism. Are they willing to accept higher prices and potential job losses in exchange for supporting domestic industries? Or do they prefer free trade and the benefits it can bring, such as lower prices and increased economic growth?